What if I told you the most dangerous person in your workplace isn't the one who shouts at you, but the one who smiles while planning your fall? You've seen them. Maybe you've even felt their shadow behind you. Warm words in public, sharp blades in private. They are patient, they are polite, and they are poisonous. It begins quietly. One day, you notice a strange pause when you enter the room. A quick glance between two people before they continue speaking. A friendly coworker who suddenly becomes distant. These are not accidents. They are the first drops of venom. Machiavelli warned that the most effective attack is the one you never see coming. And in the modern battlefield of offices and boardrooms, the weapon isn't a sword, it's reputation. All they need is a small seed of doubt, planted where it can grow. They'll never push you openly. They'll just let the weight of whispers pull you down. I remember a story from a company years ago. There was a young man, talented, ambitious, trusted by his boss. But in the corner of that office sat a friend who always asked small, harmless questions. Did you hear what he said in the meeting? Do you think he's ready for this project? Just questions, no accusations. Within 6 months, the young man's every move was being questioned. And when the big opportunity came, the boss chose someone else. The friend didn't win because he was better. He won because he was invisible in the attack. You've probably been in situations like this. Maybe you didn't even realize it until much later. The meeting where your idea got twisted. The conversation you weren't invited to. The rumor that felt too specific to be random. That's how snakes move. Without sound, without warning, without proof, you can use against them. But here's where the game changes. You can't beat them by fighting on their terms. If you try to confront them directly, you feed them exactly what they want, your reaction. And once you react, you lose control of the narrative. This is where patience becomes a blade sharper than anger. You have to learn to disappear from their radar without leaving the field. To become unreadable. To make every move feel casual, while every step is calculated. There's a Japanese proverb that says, "The silent man is the one who can see the game clearly." That's your role now. You stop giving them information. You stop explaining yourself. You let them guess. And while they guess, you're already building the next move. But be warned, the moment you stop feeding them, they will push harder. They will test you. They will try to make you break your silence. And when that moment comes, will you be ready to let them speak themselves into their own trap? Or will you give them exactly what they came for? Part 2. The moment you stop reacting, the snake becomes restless. They'll test you with small provocations. A joke that cuts a little too deep. A mistake that costs you extra work. A whisper meant to reach your ears. This is not random. It's pressure, designed to make you speak before you should. There's a Zen story about a master who sat still while a storm tore through his garden. His students asked, "Why don't you go out and protect your plants?" The master replied, "The wind will pass. If I fight it now, I will be fighting forever." That's the mistake most people make with workplace snakes. They try to swat at every gust of wind, and in doing so, they waste their energy. Machiavelli would tell you, let them overplay their hand. Snakes don't know how to stop. They keep moving until they get tangled in their own traps. Your job is to watch, not passively, but with intent. You collect patterns, small slips in their behavior, and moments when their hunger for control makes them careless. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist not only persists, but grows in size." If you resist with open conflict, you feed the very thing you want to kill. But if you redirect your energy inward, into sharpening your presence, your work, your influence, you slowly take away the oxygen they need. And here's where a quiet move can change everything. You build silent alliances, not with grand declarations, but with consistent, subtle actions that earn trust. You're never the loudest in the room, but when you speak, it's with purpose. People start seeing you as a stable point in the chaos. That's when the snake's poison starts to lose its bite. If you're starting to imagine how this could play out in your own life, hold on to that. It means you're already seeing the game differently. And if this perspective is hitting somewhere deep, that's usually the sign it's worth keeping. A simple way to keep it close: quietly tap that like button. Sometimes the smallest moves send the strongest signals. Back to the field. The snake will try one last tactic. They'll act like your ally. They'll share confidential information, agree with you in public, even defend you. This is bait. They're not protecting you. They're mapping you. That's when you remember the rule. Confirm nothing. Deny nothing. Let rumors die of hunger. Let lies choke on silence. And while they're busy weaving their net, you're already walking a different path. Because soon, there will be a moment. A moment when the board shifts, the alliances change, and the snake realizes too late. The trap they've been building was never for you. Part 3. By now, you've stopped looking at workplace politics the same way. What once felt like a personal attack now looks more like a board game. And you're learning the moves that separate winners from victims. The truth is, snakes feed on reaction. The more you give them, the more they grow. You've seen this pattern in others. The coworker who always defends themselves too quickly. The manager who responds to every whisper. The colleague who tries to clear the air by talking and ends up tangled in new rumors. They don't realize they're playing the snake's game on the snake's board. But you're not the same person who started this video. You've begun to understand something deeper. That silence, when used with purpose, isn't weakness, it's control. And control is the one thing your enemies cannot afford you to have. I'm reminded of an old samurai teaching, "Victory is reserved for those who are willing to wait." The samurai didn't swing at the first opening. They watched. They studied. And when they moved, it was final. This is the mindset you carry now. Patience as a weapon, observation as armor. You've also learned the quiet art of building influence, not through loud speeches or public battles, but through consistent, visible strength. You deliver results. You keep your word. You become the person others turn to when the storm hits. And little by little, the snake's whispers lose their power, because people stop believing words when they can see truth with their own eyes. One day soon, the snake will find themselves isolated, not because you attacked them, but because you stopped giving them oxygen. And when they look for someone to blame, they'll see only their own reflection. This isn't just about surviving the politics of the workplace. It's about becoming untouchable, someone whose value is undeniable, whose presence is steady, whose focus can't be pulled into petty battles. That's how leaders are born, not by avoiding the game, but by mastering it without ever getting their hands dirty. Right now, you have a choice. You can go back to reacting the way you always have, or you can step into this new version of yourself. The one who listens more than they speak, who observes more than they reveal, who lets others destroy themselves while they build something stronger. If you've felt even the smallest shift while listening, a spark of clarity, a sense of control you didn't have before, hold on to it. Because change doesn't happen in a single moment. It happens when you decide that from now on, you will play the game differently. And if this shift means something to you, if you can already see where you might use it, let that be your signal. Tap the like button so you remember this moment. Because every time you come back to it, it will remind you of the decision you made today. Now tell me, what's the first move you'll make the next time a snake crosses your path? Your answer might be the one that changes someone else's game.